In today's video, I'm going to show you how I turn an Adobe XD design into a functional WordPress website. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you have not been here before, thank you so much for coming. I post every Wednesday and Sunday and I have been designing for about 7 years, so I love to talk with you guys about graphic design, the graphic design world, the trends, all the things I'm learning, and what it's really like behind the scenes to run a graphic design business on your own. So really hope that you guys stick around, but thank you so much for coming to this video. I'm going to be sharing with you all how to turn an Adobe XD website design into a functional WordPress website. So first things first, I wanted to mention why the heck I design on WordPress, because there's so many website platforms out there, and I know it can get a little overwhelming when it comes to choosing which one to use for your clients. So typically, I always design on WordPress. I am pretty flexible with my clients because I know some clients have already locked into a platform such as Squarespace, Showit, Wix, whatever it is. So I'm not going to be super strict on if I'm forcing them to be on WordPress. However, if they come to me and ask for advice, I'm definitely going to push them to consider using WordPress, and I'm going to share with you all why. So the first reason I love WordPress is, one, it's so flexible. There's no platform as flexible as it because you basically own your website. That is one of the reasons I love the flexibility of it. If you decide you don't like the hosting account you're on, it's so simple to just take a backup of your website and start up a new hosting account. So you don't really have that option. You can't go from Squarespace to WordPress. You'd have to redesign the whole thing. So I love the flexibility of switching platforms if you ever have to do that. And by platforms, I mean hosting accounts. So that's one of my biggest reasons I love it, is you basically own your website. You can download your database and you can put that anywhere you please. Second reason I love WordPress is that it's affordable. I mean, I think there's so many platforms that are amazing, but there comes a price tag with that. And I love that WordPress, you can make it as complex of a website that you want, or you can make it super simple. But at the end of the day, you're paying for the complexities that you're going to be adding to it, instead of paying for a package and a platform that maybe you're not going to be using all the features it provides. So I love that WordPress, you purchase the hosting account that fits your complexity, and then you can make the design as simple or as complex as you please. And I love that so much. That's also a reason I love the flexibility. And I also love the way you can make a super custom design and you really have no limits with it. Those are just a few of the reasons I love WordPress. There's so many other reasons. I've made lots of videos on it, and I also have a WordPress course if you're interested in checking that out. I would love to share that with you all. I'm actually currently working on updating the course, adding new lessons to it. So definitely check that out so you can see when I add those new lessons. But now I want to hop into me actually designing a real client website. So I was working on this today. We are planning on launching her website. We were going to do it at the end of this week, but I think we might wait a little bit because there's quite a few things that we still have pending, like some blog posts, some freebies, some certain items that we want to include on the website. But I figured this is the perfect time to show you how I'm preparing the website for launch, and also I'm going to show you how I build a website page, because I still need to create her links page to use on Instagram. Kind of like a link tree, but a custom link tree page where she can have all the places she wants her Instagram audience to go to, or Pinterest audience. So I will be designing that with you all today. Super excited. I love how this website came out. It's definitely right up my alley. I love her business. I just love everything about it. So with that said, let's hop on over to my screen recording and I'll talk through some of the things that I'm doing. Before I hop over to my screen, I have to share with you guys my little friend that is here with me today, because he is super cute, sitting on my chair. He totally took it over and he's like legit laying on his back. He's so comfy. He's living the life. Okay, guys, I just logged into SiteGround, which is my favorite hosting account to use with WordPress. Right now, I mean, that might change down the line. It used to be Bluehost for me, but they got so saturated with so many people on their platform that I felt like my website speed just wasn't up to par on how fast I wanted my website to be. And so that's when I did some research, and My good friend was actually using SiteGround and highly recommended it because the customer service is so good. If you have any questions at all, they're very quick to respond to you, like right away. So that's huge, especially if you're going to be doing this for a client, because if one day you're not there to help them, they can easily utilize the support on SiteGround. So I do have a link down below if you guys want to check out SiteGround. I do love it. So this is where we are building and we're holding her website. So she actually just allowed me to be a collaborator on the website, which is something really cool that SiteGround allows you to do. So if I go over to my collaborations, I'm going to see that we have the 2 websites right here. So I'm going to click on Site Tools. And I'm going to show you guys what I started so far on the actual development part of WordPress, and then I'm going to also compare it to the Adobe XD to show you how similar you can really make your Adobe XD websites to a functional WordPress website. Because I think sometimes that can be the problem with creating a custom website, is it's not easily convertible, meaning like you can't develop it exactly the same, but we're able to do that on WordPress because it's so awesome. So I'm going to go over to WordPress, install and manage, and then I'm just going to log into the dashboard from there. And this is what I have set up so far. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I have installed. I have Divi installed, of course, because that's how I build the websites. That's the platform I use to do that. I have a coming soon page on, which I'll show you what that looks like right now, because we are not ready to launch yet. So we want to make sure we have something there in case anyone goes to that domain. So we also need to change the favicon, which I can show you guys how to do that. But this is what the website's showing right now. Also, there's lots of other things, and that's why I created a course on this. There's so many things that go into making sure that your name servers are set up right for WordPress and SiteGround, and making sure that your domain is SSL, like you have an SSL certificate. There's so many things to do before you even set up your WordPress. So I go over all of that in my course, and yeah, there's a lot to it. So it's hard for me to go over in just one YouTube video. But I also have Yoast installed. I'm going to uninstall this Pinterest tags because it's actually not really working. It's not a good plugin in my opinion. And then I also have a cache plugin installed because when we're doing a lot of revisions on the pages, and that's actually one reason I love to design on Adobe XD before WordPress, because WordPress stores a lot of your revisions. So if you're doing revision after revision, your website can get really weighed down. But caching allows you to clear out a lot of the held revisions, allows you to clear out all the things that maybe you're not using anymore. So I have that installed, and I can always access it from up here by just purging all. That way we're not loading anything old. Okay, so that's a little bit of the dashboard. Now if I go to visit site, we'll see the actual website design, which I'm so happy with how this is coming together. It's so fun, loving it. Yeah. So I figured I can show you guys how to actually develop one of these pages. I'll just like kind of redo it with you all. And then I'll also show you how to create a brand new page. And I'm going to do that links page with you to do the link tree. So first things first, I feel like I'm a little all over the place, but I do want to make sure I get that favicon updated before I forget. So to do that, I'm going to go over to the drop down here, go to theme customizer. That'll pop open this customizing option. And then we're going to go to general settings, site identity, and then you'll have a site icon option there. I might have to resize one, create one for her, but this should work. We'll see if that works. Yeah, it's a little too small. Let's see. I actually have a logo from her. This is why it's so good to send your clients logos if you're doing their branding and stuff. So good to send the logos in all color options, because I will likely be using a filled in color option, which we didn't think we needed at first, but you'll need it for things like this. So just pulling that up over here. I also saved the icons separately if we wanted to use one of those, but those are still going to be really hard to see. I was thinking of her sister brand is the one where I have the icon colored in, but let's actually try out, I guess it's better to have a lighter version. So let's try out this one, and it might actually crop it. That's the problem with, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's still not working. Okay, let's try the light version of this. All right, we're just gonna leave that for now. I'll probably come in here later and change it, but it's fine. Okay, going back, this is just the website I have built, and I'm gonna open up the Adobe XD to show you how similar I was able to make them to each other. Okay, I opened up my Adobe XD, so I'm gonna pull that in right here. And I always, first things first, when I design on Adobe XD, I like to set up the document assets with the colors, character styles, the logos, and all that. So I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of clearly see how similar the website is to the actual Adobe XD mockup. So this is technically a mockup. This isn't really a website design. It's more of the mockup, and it's kind of hard sometimes. Some clients don't understand why like these buttons don't click and why this isn't a functional website yet. But I typically just like to tell them this is just the mock-up to make sure we like the look of it before I make it super functional and optimized for your business. That way we can edit, customize the design, and do anything we want to it. Yeah, so I always try and explain that to them. But anyway, so I basically just already developed all of this, but I was going to show you guys, and I'll design the link page with you actually, that way I can save us some time too, or else I'd be here all day long showing you how to do this. But yeah, so let's create the links page. So this is everything I've designed, and you'll notice I have the visual builder option up here, which is how you can do really awesome visual building customization on the front end, because sometimes when you're on the back end it can be a little confusing on customization on WordPress. So that's one of the reasons I love Divi, is they have this visual builder, which when I open you'll see all the options to hover over something and edit the text, all that really cool stuff. So love Divi for that reason. But I'm going to exit this. We're going to create a new page for the links. So I'm going to go over to dashboard, and I'm going to go pages, add new, and I already started one, but I'm going to create a new one with you guys so you can see exactly how I do this. Okay, I'm going to call this one Instagram. Okay, use Divi Builder, and you'll notice I have the Yoast installed, so there's a lot of cool SEO things, which is another great thing about WordPress, is they really guide you with that SEO. Okay, we're gonna build it from scratch. So the header and footer is global, so that's gonna show up on any page, every page that you want it to be on. For the Instagram links page, I actually might not want the header and footer. Sometimes it's nice to just have it go straight to the links and you guide the audience where you want them to go. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but I'm gonna basically make this entire section a image, a parallaxed image, so we can kind of get the design going from there. So I'm gonna open this up, and let's actually just use an existing image. Like this one's pretty cool. Open that up in there, and then if you're like, this is way too skinny, like I need that to be a lot taller, first I'm going to turn on parallax so that way we can really see what we're doing. Either one works. CSS holds this image still, and then you scroll through the image, but true parallax just kind of makes the image flow with you. So in order to increase the spacing on top and bottom, I'm going to go to padding. I'm going to hit 100 for both top and bottom, and you'll notice like the image is not showing up properly, probably because of the parallax, but we can play around with getting that perfect. We might need to select a different image. Let's try that one. Okay, that might work for now. You can also adjust the height on the page itself if you wanted to do that. Makes it really fun to kind of play around with. Okay, now I'm going to add a section to, and she kind of showed me what she wants this to look like. That's why I'm just jumping right in and I know what to create. but she did want a section that kind of overlaps the logo here and just like makes it look really pretty. So I'm gonna add a background color, and I did not set up the global colors yet, which we really need to do, which I can show you how to do that as well. But I'm just gonna go over here, copy the color, paste the color, and there we go. Now I'm going to add, I'm actually going to change this to a different column structure like this, and I'm going to add in the logo in the center there. And let's do the dark logo. See how that looks. Go to design, sizing. We'll make it a little smaller. Okay, and then to overlap these, sometimes I'll just actually grab, make sure that there's no spacing on top and bottom, and then you'll see if I hover over the green right here, if I pull it up, it's going to overlap it. And you might be wondering, like, how is that going to be responsive? How is that going to like work on mobile? Well, I will show you how to fix it on mobile, and this is actually pretty responsive. Like if I shrink the page, increase the page, it's still going to stay the same. Mobile is the only thing you really need to worry about. So click those three dots, click on mobile, and you'll see, yeah, it looks a little different. So I'm going to click on the icon, go to design, sizing, width, click on width. It's not going to allow me to do. Okay, well, usually it allows you to, oh, there it goes. Usually it pops open this where you can hit desktop versus mobile, and you could shrink the sizing for mobile there. Okay, awesome. So let's go back to desktop. Let me save draft. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to create another new section. I like to do section by section. That way I can change background colors if I want to. We're going to open that up, and we're going to do one like this, so I can put image on this side, text on that side. So let's add some text there. And I'm going to show you too, I can add a code to make all the fonts look the same across every page. Add that image. Let's just add images we have for now. We can always change that later. And I'm kind of just playing around with the sizing to match the inspiration that she sent me. Okay, so for this, I'm going to put link so that she knows to add a link there. Okay, now let's go find the right font for this, which this code will help us automatically have that set up. I'm gonna actually increase the sizing. Link, 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 and then I also want a background color. You can change the background color for the whole page by clicking on the settings, background, global, recent. It'll change it for the entire page if you do it like that. Okay, so that's good for now. I'm gonna go look back on the inspiration and make sure that I'm making this look kind of similar to how she wants it. Okay guys, I'm going to change this up a little bit because I feel like it's not breaking up the page enough. So I'm going to go to Enable Visual Builder again, and I'm actually going to change the background color here to just white. And let's see, maybe I can add a background. I'm just playing around with it now. Those global colors will save you so much time. I don't know why they're not in here yet, but I did have my developer help me with some of this, so we might have just completely forgot on it, but that's okay. Okay, let me see if I can get a rounded border. Okay, that's not going to work. So I'm just going to leave it how it is for now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with this area here. And there's actually an option to do like a really special kind of layout if you wanted to do it like that. So I'm actually going to look into this because I think I want 2 images on one side. So let's play around with that. And you can also, it's kind of cool, but you can also go in here and set a column background. And then, okay, let me delete this image. There's lots of ways you can like change up the design of this. I'm actually going to remove that. And then you can change the sizing of this entire row if you wanted it to be wider, if you wanted to make it stretch maybe the whole page, you could do that. So I'm just kind of showing you around what Divi offers. But let me see if I can add in a couple images here and make it look pretty cool. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you guys now that I built this page, or at least the start of this page, we need to add in all these links, is the options to set up the global colors and just show you like the global footer and header that I create before I do anything really. So if I go over to Divi theme options, I'm going to see color picker's default palette, which is exactly where I want to enter in the colors that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to head on over to my Adobe XD, copy in all these colors, and it'll automatically pop that up on every page. And then I'll also show you guys how I add in the global font. Okay, so I'm just adding in all of these colors to make sure that we have them set for every page. Okay, and we don't have that many colors in this palette, so we're probably just gonna leave those other colors there. Sometimes I like to select like a white color and like a black color, just since those are, you know, common colors to use. And then I'm gonna save changes. That's perfect. So yeah, I really like having the option to add those colors in. So I'll show you once I go to the site now. If I go to Enable Visual Builder, and if I open up, let's say, this text, and if I go to heading 2, you will see, whoops, zoomed in. You will see all those colors right here, which is awesome. So that's how you set those global colors, or the default colors for the website. And yeah, I mean, I love converting Adobe XD into WordPress. I think having the design on here first allows a lot more customization, and it also allows me to potentially send this to developers if I want to move on to my next project without worrying about, you know, converting this into functional. But super happy with how this website came together. It definitely mimics exactly how I wanted it on here. Looks exactly the same, which is always the goal. But yeah, super happy with it. So that is how I turn Adobe XD mockups into functional WordPress website designs. I really hope that this was helpful. If it was, please let me know by commenting down below or giving this video a thumbs up. It really helps when I get your guys' feedback. But I had so much fun designing this website. I'm so excited to launch it and get this out into the world. It's been so fun to create. But I really just wanted to show you how exactly I create these custom websites, and also why the heck I use WordPress, because I know that it can be so overwhelming. But as I mentioned earlier, I do have a WordPress course, because I know WordPress itself can be a little bit of a learning curve, but I know you guys will understand and learn it really quickly. But if you want some guidance, I do have that course, so definitely check it out. I'll leave a link down below. It's always down below, so definitely check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I